Hi, today I'm gonna talk about aggregate demand shifts and economic booms. In my example, it would be India. So, what is the aggregate demand and aggregate supply model, and how demand shifts create booms? Aggregate demand equals consumptions plus investments plus government spendings plus net exports. Here you can see the model. On the vertical side is plus price level, and the horizontal side is real GDP. Increases in consumptions, investments, government spendings, or net exports push AD from AD1 to AD2. Real GDP rises from Y1 to Y2, creating higher growth. Price level moves from P1 to P2, which causes inflation. Here's to mention, if output exceeds long-run aggregate supply, an inflationary gap opens, which means that actual GDP exceeds potential GDP. Here's an example of India. As you can see, there is a chart showing the growth of real GDP of India from 2021 to 2026. For 2026 as a forecast. Here you can see the big economic boom from 2021 through to 2022. So, what causes this economic boom? First one is growth in government spendings. $106.6 billion budget allocation for infrastructure such as highways, railways, and ports. Rise in consumptions. Digital payments transactions surged 142x since 2018. Unemployment fell to 3.2%. And the last one, rise in investments. Record 85 billion dollars foreign direct investments in flow. For example, Apple iPhone exports from India up 177% year over year. Can the boom sustain? Yes, it can, but here's some risks. One of the risks is the important one, which calls overheating risk. If AD keeps shifting right without short-run aggregate supply expansion, persistent inflation destroys purchasing power. Inflation at 7.5% hits low-income households hardest. And here's the most important. Sustainability depends on the supply side. Long-run aggregate supply must shift right through reforms, productivity gains, and capacity expansion. Conclusion. First one is rightward AD shifts from increases in consumption, investments, government spendings, or net exports create short-run booms with higher output and rising prices. Second one, India's 2022 to 2025 expansion was driven by massive infrastructure investments, digital transformation, record FDI, and growing consumer demand. And the third one, last one, the ADAS model captures this as AD1 to AD2, but the long-run sustainability requires the supply side, long-run aggregate supply, to keep pace with demand. That's all. Thank you for your attention.